which therapist you need.
Therapy Thursday.
Now on Wild 94.1.
I understand therapy.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
All right, it is Therapy Thursday. We try and give you a little bit of help on any of your queries. 888-429-0941. You can call us or text Meredith MD, Dr. Davi, Orlando BGYN, however you want to go. We got you. Let's see what we got.
I love this, you guys, because we actually got a follow-up from a question from a couple weeks ago.
Really?
All right,
Yes.
what we got?
Okay, out the 863, it says, so a couple weeks ago, you guys said it was pretty normal and okay that the guy I'm talking to is still living with his ex due to the lease and the kids that they share together.
Yeah.
Like I said a couple weeks ago, he's waiting for his house to be done being built in July. However, our kids danced together, and I finally saw her, the ex, in person. And she still wears a huge ring that he got her.
Ooh.
They aren't married. They were never married, but they were engaged at one point. So when I asked him about it, he says that she said, quote, I just like the ring. Is this a red flag or a sign to run in the other direction? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yes, it is. Run.
No, okay. No.
Yes.
It's not an immediate run. It's a perception thing. They're breaking up. She's holding on. Like, it could be. Could be she's wearing the ring because hope springs eternal to some people. He might be bigger, better deal. Babe, soon as I get this house done, I'm out. So I wouldn't say just depend on her perspective of it. Her perspective of it is I'm wearing the ring because the whole facade is still popping.
Okay.
So it isn't a run away thing immediate.
Can I ask you guys each one question, one word answer? Is this a huge deal, yes or no?
Yes.
No.
It is. If I'm done in a relationship, especially a marriage, and we are not together anymore, but we just have to live together, you better believe I'm not wearing my wedding ring anymore.
Yeah, but you kind of are, though, because if you're living with somebody, you're living up with the facade.
Right, but she already knew that, and she saw her, and she's still wearing the big-ass ring.
But that's because
which
you're
says
still living
to the
facade.
world,
Think about the neighbors that see them going in and out of that house that they still living together. They might have a deal, but the neighbors are like, why doesn't she wear her ring? That's more conversation. Yeah. Keep up the facade until y'all don't live together. And then take off the ring. Take the Band-Aid off once.
Yeah, if I'm pissed, I'm taking off that ring.
Yeah, you're not pissed, though. Bill's still being paid.
You could be mad and still live in the same house. It happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not taking off my ring, though, because I'm still married.
I would say don't run, but keep your eyes open because it's not an immediate thing that's about guilt, but just want to be careful.
I would ask if I saw her, I would have went up to her and asked her a couple questions.
See, that's the messy part.
Yeah, and I would have found out something instead of keeping going through him, and he could potentially be lying to you.
Nasty. All right. Doesn't Meredith have a piece of jewelry from an ex?
Yeah, but I don't wear it. I don't wear it. It's in my jewelry box.
One of my favorite memories ever is burning those pajama pants that your ex had that you
I
still wore.
loved those
We
things.
burned them at the Amley Arena.
And we got in trouble for that,
We
by
did.
the way.
That's it. Let's see. Dr. Davi, you got one.
Tell me.
It says, I know you're not supposed to blame a new partner for what an ex has done, but my trust level is not where it should be. I got a new girl in my life, but my infidelity of my ex is still on my heart, and it bubbles up a lot. Any advice on how to handle this feeling?
Just remember that no two relationships are the same. No two people, partners, girlfriends, wives, fiancés are the same. So you can't blame your current for the failures of your past. It's hard to let go of it. It's something that people deal with. They hang on to it. The insecurity and just wanting to peep the phone or, wonder where they're at, what they're doing. I think it can get better with time, but just don't let your past emotions ruin a future with somebody that probably isn't doing something. You have a heightened sense of alertness when it comes to that. Dial it down a little bit. If they're not giving you reasons to be suspicious, try your best not to be.
That's hard smart. To do. It's very smart.
But be mad at the person. That person was had an infidelity issue, not a gender. You can't be mad at all women.
Yeah.
That person did you wrong.
Yeah.
Be mad at that one. That's it.
I have one for you, Orlando.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my question has to do with talking to my daughter about sex. She is 13 years old and has questions about everything. I've talked to her about sex itself, being safe, STDs, etc. I grew up in a very conservative household, and I didn't talk much about this with my parents and growing up. It still makes me feel uncomfortable answering these things. So how do I determine what to answer and what to phase out?
I'm just gonna trust me. I understand the discomfort because I've talked to my daughters about it and kept it really clinical, and they were kind of happy, but also I felt like I informed them, but I felt like I left a lot on the table. So what I will say is the best thing to do is answer every question, because you don't want to leave them to have to find out the answer on their own. Now, that's not comfortable, and like you said, we all learned a different way coming up in a different generation. So I would just say make sure you're there for them, because the more you give your kids an answer, the more they trust your source. That means the more that they can come to you when they have questions. So if you give them that BS answer, they realize that you selling them some wolf tickets, and they're like, I'm never going to ask you again because apparently you don't even know. Now, you know. And so you should be able to sit down with them and engage what it is that they're learning. But don't lie to your kids. That's the one thing that I've seen really successful parents do. They've been able to give them the real, and while it's not comfortable, it gives a great source of information from that parent.
Plus, if you don't answer it, the kids are going to ask their friends, and their friends don't know nothing.
I'm telling you, I had Michael Black across the street from me that taught me some stuff about sex, and it was all wrong.
Exactly.
And I went to college with that. I thought that was true. I'm like, yo, this ain't right.
I wonder what he told you.
All kinds of just wrong behavior that I shouldn't have been doing. We got a no name here for Dr. Davi. Let's see. Question. Hello.
Hello.
What's your question for Dr. Davi?
So I've been dealing with somebody for a little over a year on and off. And I used to be a street person, was involved in a lot of things, and I don't do that type of stuff anymore. But the person that I've been dating does. And they want to be in a relationship and want me to take them serious, but I don't know what to do because it conflicts with how I'm living.
So you're not in the game like that no more, but they are.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think that you need to stay away from that person. First of all, turn your radio down if you could.
Yeah, that's going to throw you off.
Okay, so I think you need to stay away from that person because essentially that's your past coming back to test you. That's temptation. That's everything that you know you shouldn't be doing. Now you know better. There was probably a point in your life where you didn't know better. You were young. You were running the streets doing your thing. Now you're at a point that you know better, and you know that this person probably in the long run is not what's best for you. So what's best for you is to continue working on yourself, personal growth, and continue on the path and the trajectory that you're currently on. This is how you go back to the person that you were and what you're trying to stay away from. So I say that you should cut that off. That's not the right person for you, and it's not your path to leveling up.
It's a hard thing to do, but it's probably better for you in the long run.
For sure.
And it really is, because they're a real person. They've been there, and stuff like that. But that's my biggest fear is that, It's not like I don't like that lifestyle, but I didn't like what came with it.
Exactly. Yeah, you ended up crashing and burning, and you end up doing it again if you go back that route. So definitely something to think about, bro. I appreciate you hitting us up.
Thank you very much.
All right, man. All right, let's see. We got a few more coming through here.
I am in a pretty new relationship. We have moved really quickly, and honestly, I can say that we work perfectly together. I have honestly never been more happy with anyone else. I was arrested when I was 18, and I did a little time in jail. It has never been brought up or has even been asked if I've ever been in trouble. I don't know if this is something that needs to be discussed sooner in the relationship or later. I don't want things to change. I've never been happier. This question question is for Meredith. Thanks, guys.
Meredith, what you thinking?
If it were me personally, I would eventually want to know. It's definitely not a deal breaker. People do stupid stuff all the time, especially when they're young. You were in jail for a little bit. A bunch of people, whether they get DUIs or this or that. And it sounds like this is something that's been on your shoulders and something maybe you just want to talk about as an adult. Like, listen, I'm in love with you, or I'm together with you. I see a future with you, but I had this, and it's not a big deal. But if it is to you, like, let's talk about it.
It really is important in this situation here. It's important what you got arrested for. There are some things that will be taken.
They don't expire.
Right.
They don't expire.
Some things that you did are taken better than others.
Can I have an example? Like,
you know the example.
Yeah, you know the example. Like, look, I was somewhere and this dude was popping off and I had to shoot him.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Okay,
If you
that's
went
an
to the
example.
store and you shoplifted some chapstick or something, that doesn't hold as
Right.
much weight as something else. But the fact that you did a little time
in jail,
especially
said
when
something.
you were only 18, means it could have been something kind of serious.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's also should be eventually brought up.
Just
Yeah.
how
Out of respect.
how fast would you want to know? As the girl in the room, the dude that is hollering at you, how fast does he have to tell you he went to jail?
It sounds
At 18.
maybe after a little while, maybe after a month or two.
Really? So you need to know up front.
I don't need to know. It depends on how egregious the thing is. Because if you got a DUI and nobody was harmed and you got caught and you went to jail, then there you go. Okay, let's talk about it. But if I don't know what your examples maybe should be brought up a little bit sooner.
Okay.
It just depends on what the crime was.
It
Yeah.
does.
All right.
And if you want to tell us, text us. Because we're interested, by the way.
Let's say this is for anyone. Me and my fiance recently got engaged, and my brother doesn't like the fact that I've been in the same relationship since I was in middle school. I haven't ventured out. What should I do or say to my brother? Is he right? Is experience what I need?
Tavi,
That's
you
for
can
anybody
start.
in there. Y'all jump on it.
We have people listening right now that are with their high school sweetheart, with that person that they've been with, their first, their last, their only, and they couldn't be happier. Now, there's also the school of thought that says, hey, you need to venture out, learn more about yourself and other people, and it's very healthy. But I think that you don't need to let your brother's opinion ultimately let it influence your decision, but don't let his opinion really make your decision for you. Take it with a grain of salt. He does have a point, but nobody knows your relationship better than you. And if that's your person that you see yourself with forever, ever, then screw your brother.
Yeah.
I will just
We
say
should support
I believe we give a lot of credit to middle school relationships and stuff in those years where I don't think they should really count personally. If you with somebody in the third grade or we met in the fifth grade, that should not make the wedding speech. We don't care.
That's part of the fairy
fifth,
tale.
sixth, seventh grade, y'all wasn't going through any turmoil that you had.
It's kinda sweet.
Homework was hard.
I'm just saying your brother is giving you advice on don't count those early years. Now what you're doing now is a real adult relationship. And move forward. If y'all committed to each other, fine. But holding on to that, I have middle school. Middle school shouldn't have that kind of weight on your shoulders. It shouldn't be a part of we've been together 12 years, but you're only 22.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we had 10. We got together. That just sounds a little
If you're
janky.
happy in your relationship, it shouldn't matter what other people
Just be
say,
happy.
even
but
though
you
it's
ain't
your
gotta
brother.
add pad numbers onto it, though. Be happy. We've been together 5 years.
Now, you and I are totally different on that. If we met at middle school, we're married now with kids, everybody's going to know we met in middle school.
Yeah, this is the anniversary of our first dance.
Yeah.
Right. It was a sock hop
Exactly.
at the gym.
You asked me to dance because Belinda left with that other boy.
It's
You
rare.
see Belinda, she's fat now.
She's fat. Oh, my God. Belinda's a heifer. Oh, God. Let's squeeze one more in. What we got?
But real quick, before we do that, wind up from the previous one, the arrested person.
Oh, yes.
They said that they are 32 now. They've never been in trouble since. It was essentially a battery charge.
Okay,
I'm
so
cool
they
with
got
a
into
little
a fight.
battery.
A little battery
Yeah,
at
a little
18.
battery.
Yeah,
Wait, what is battery again?
Yeah, that's what you punch somebody. That's all you did. I punched somebody. Is that all right?
Yes, I
All
guess
right,
we can get
I
over
went to jail
that.
for punching somebody.
Yeah, that's
But they let me out.
What was it? Was it like an old lady or something?
Listen, I punched somebody, man. Probably for asking too many questions. All right, Therapy Thursday is around.